Good morning, friends. It is Friday, June 13th. It's 10 a.m. And this morning we are joining to stop, to reflect, to allow ourselves to be as present as we possibly can. I'm going to give people just a few minutes to join us. And until then, we're going to just kind of hang for a little bit. And yeah, cool. That's not working. That's awesome. Hope everybody's having a great morning so far. So weird. Where did it go? Hmm, how bizarre. All right. So we're going to start off our time with some of the box breathing. Box breathing is such an important way to just kind of allow yourself to be as present as you can be in those moments where you might not feel so very present. Maybe your brain is a little bit distracted. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of anxiety, whatever the case may be. Kind of pull yourself away from everybody else. And what box breathing is a great way. Just you breathe in through your nose, you breathe out through your mouth. You breathe in through your nose, you breathe out through your mouth. In between the two of those, you're going to hold it. It's that simple. Um, and box breathing just allows you to kind of re-regulate yourself. And before you get into that, before we start that breathing, you kind of want to scan from head to toe and just kind of realize, am I holding any tension in my forehead? What about my jaw? How about my shoulders, my back? Am I clenching? Where am I clenching? What am I doing here? That's the important thing. And what we do is we stop and we just kind of allow ourselves to kind of let go of any of those tensions that we're holding within ourselves, any of that worry, any of that anxiety. And so we direct our attention to our breath as we begin.
Inhale, hold,
I'm
exhale,
not hearing anything coming out of this.
hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold, finished.
All right. Okay. And so we resume our regular breathing. And I hope that you can kind of notice a difference between when you start And when you finish, when you're doing that breathing, I know for me that it is just a nice little reset that just kind of takes you down just a little level. And I'm pulling up our readings for today. So we direct our attention to our readings. And our first reading today is from the second letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. Brothers and sisters, we hold this treasure in earthen vessels, that the surpassing power may be of God and not from us. We are afflicted in every way, but not constrained, perplexed, but not driven to despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed, always carrying about in the body the dying of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be manifested in our body. For we who live are constantly being given up to death for the sake of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may be manifested in our mortal flesh. So death is at work in us, but life in you. Since then, we have the same spirit of faith, according to what is written. I'll believe, therefore, I spoke. We too believe, and therefore we speak, knowing that the one who raised the Lord Jesus will raise us also with Jesus and place us with you in his presence. Everything indeed is for you, so that the grace bestowed in abundance on more and more people may cause the thanksgiving to overflow for the glory of God. Today's gospel comes from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verses 27 to 32. Jesus said to his disciples, "You have heard that it was said, 'You shall not commit adultery.' But I say to you, everyone who looks at a woman with lust has already committed adultery with her in his heart. If your right eye causes you to sin, tear it out and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one of your members than to have your whole body thrown into Gehenna. And if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one of your members than to have your whole body go into Gehenna. It was also said, whoever divorces his wife must also give her a bill of divorce. But I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, unless the marriage is unlawful, causes her to commit adultery. And whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery." All right, friends. Today's gospel is one that I think most Catholics are going to focus on the divorce part of it, just because we're, kind of it's a focus that a lot of Catholic individuals seem to have. But let's rearrange. Let's zoom out for a second, and rather than focus on the specifics, let's realize what we're talking about here in Matthew's gospel today, and it's very much focused on relationship in general. Relationship is based on how do I view something? Do I hold it with reverence and respect? Do I treasure it? Do I protect it? Do I value it? This is for things. These are also for the relationships and with people that we have in our life. Do I love this person? Do I value this person? Does this person matter to me? Why does this person matter to me? There are a lot of behaviors that exist within the church today, society for that matter as well, that allow for a lot of really bad behavior. And unfortunately, it's, sin begets sin, right? And so this bad behavior spawns further bad behavior. If I know that something is not good for me, do I keep it in my life? That's the question that needs to be asked. If something is not good for me, what does my relationship look like with that? And should I be in relationship with that thing, that individual, that circumstance, whatever the case may be? Is it a healthy relationship that's taking place between myself and something else, someone else? If the answer is anything but yes, we need to reevaluate the relationship and we need to kind of figure out, well, what is it that I want this to actually look like? What should this look like? Or what shouldn't this look like? I think is sometimes even a better question. And this might be the relationship that we have with, it could be the relationship that we have with food. It could be the relationship we have with alcohol. It could be the relationship that we have with social media. It could be the relationship that we have with, my goodness. I mean, honestly, anything. What does that relationship look like? And is that beneficial to what I hope to be and become in my life? I mean, that's kind of how we have to ask about it. We just came out of a Lenten season, did we not? And in that Lenten season, many people gave something up. Why did we give that up? Well, because it probably wasn't the best thing for me. Okay. Did you go back to it at the end of the month? Or 40 days, rather? The season? I'm just curious. If it really wasn't good for you, why did you go back to it? This idea of how relationships exist with things is one of the things that we have to kind of talk about in order to be aware of where do I invest kind of my efforts, my hopes, my all those things. In our house, we talk about spoons. How many spoons do I have every day? And I have a limited number of spoons. Say I've got 5 spoons just because I got 5 fingers on a hand, right? Throughout the day, I have to figure out what I'm doing with each of these spoons. And I only have so many of them. And these spoons go towards household chores, interactions with individuals throughout the day, how we treat each other, how we treat the dogs, how everything goes. It's all based on how much energy is within those 5 spoons. Those spoons then become incredibly precious, do they not? And so my attention, the time that I give towards the things of my day, that's what I value. That's what's most important to me. And so each of us have to ask ourselves, well, what is it that's most significant to me? Be that faith, be that maybe it's my job, maybe that's my relationship, maybe that's what is that? And that's where we seek to invest. That's where we seek to put in. That's where our efforts, energy, attention, everything, it goes towards that. And so we have to evaluate the relationships we have with everything in our lives. The people that we're in relationship with. What does the relationship with our family look like? This is how we discern what's going to happen. And this is where we can get into trouble, right? Cuz you get towards, let's say, dinner time, and do I have any spoons left? Cuz dinner time is not the end of the day, but there's still more to do then. How do I spend my energy when I have almost none? It becomes an even more valuable resource. And so we have to kind of, well, I didn't have enough spoons at the end of yesterday. So today I got to kind of throttle it a little bit differently. And this is true for energy, but it's also true for love and attention. When I used to do youth ministry, one of the first talks I'd give to a bunch of kids, if I'd never talked to them before, I'd say, I am affording you right now the most precious thing that I have, and that is my time. It is the only truly limited resource that I have within my life. But what I do with that time shows you what I care about. And so we have to ask ourselves, what is it that I care about? What matters most to me? And then I invest and I put the love into those things. And I don't want to be frivolous with where I put my love. I also don't want to be wasting where love could go on something that is negative, or putting it towards something that is frivolous maybe. And that's under the best of times. What do I do in when the world is as the world is today, where there are so many people that we care about that are in danger or in a bad place? What do I do with my spoons in those times? The reason I'm saying this is because we are only going to be at our best when we have the energy and ability to do so. I'm only going to be my best when I have, the gumption to be able to do that. And if I don't have that, I'm not going to be giving my best, am I? And none of us are going to be giving our best when we are running on empty and things like this. And this is why we have to take the time during our days to stop, to breathe, to reevaluate, to allow ourselves to take down the tension and things like that. Otherwise, all we are doing is just throwing pure anger at every single person and thing, because all you're trying to do at that point is just survive if you're out of spoons. And you don't want to run out of spoons. You don't want to run out of love. You don't want to run out of compassion. You don't want to run out of care. You don't want to run out of listening. And so we have to stop ourselves and take a beat. We have to stop ourselves and take a moment to just allow ourselves to refresh. You have to take a moment to stop and to breathe in grace. Otherwise, you're going to be in a pure state of constant reaction. And that's not what we're called to be. That is not the call. The call is, here I am, Lord, I've come to do your will. I've come here in love. I've come here in peace. So, friends, on this Friday afternoon or Friday morning, as we seek to kind of be what we're called to be, regardless of what the world looks like around us, may we take endless opportunities to go back to that wellspring of grace, that goodness, that prayer, that meditation, that stillness that's just wrapped in the heart of God. May we refresh ourselves in that time and time again, so that we can be the best versions of ourselves, so that we can bring the love that is needed in the world into the world, so that we can overcome the darkness that takes from so many. This is something we have to choose to do now and today. We have to choose to be light. We have to choose to be loving. But when we choose that, that same love and that same light multiplies in the world. May we seek to be multipliers of love. And in doing so, we make this world that we live in a significantly better place. Friends, may we seek to multiply our spoons. May we breathe in that love of God whenever we take a moment or can take a moment to do so. And on this Friday and all weekend, may we find many opportunities to be multipliers of love. Peace be with y'all this morning and all the time. I love y'all very, very much. I hope that you have an awesome weekend. Hit the like button on here. Share this maybe. Write a comment. Give me some feedback. Get the algorithm working. I really appreciate it. I love you guys very much. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace.